Hey everybody, this is the Seth and Beth podcast. I'm Seth Kirchanen.
And I'm Beth Kirchanen.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
And this is Ning Wong. Yes, Ning Wong.
What's
the
up?
famous,
What's up?
infamous.
I was just telling Ning how handsome he is. I love his hair. You know, girls work really hard to get like arched eyebrows, and yours just like do it.
Oh, it's just, I'm always squinting.
Stop it.
Um,
You're so cute.
Ning is an incredible photographer from the SoCal area.
So incredible.
He is a
From SoCal.
monumental masterclass speaker at WPPI
Thanks.
and a loving friend. Anyone who would come on the show is we're very thankful for, and we're glad to have you. I think Beth just knows you for your sexy good looks and hilarity that we have when we get together. But I'm sure the
Okay,
world.
no, just don't stop it like that. Tell us more about the hilarity that you and Ning have been a part of.
Well, look, I mean, we're involved in some. We've involved ourselves a little more personally in the photography world, not just like, hi, we're photographers. Good to see you at this conference. Like we've hung out on multiple occasions in somewhat of a relaxed settings.
Traveled together.
And so Ning is definitely one of the friends who is like not afraid to get half naked, record hilarious stuff, make video montage like blooper reels of our life. And so
Didn't you guys do like a pool ballerina skit?
well, that's right. And our buttocks were exposed. It's a long story, Beth, but yeah, Ning is always there. Ning, how are you doing?
Good. That's a different kind of podcast.
That is Beth. This is all business. What you trying to do over there? Ning, tell. So my goal, our goal with this is to introduce you to maybe more people in the world.
Okay.
If potential clients, customers in the future, maybe look you up, they're gonna find you on here. So Beth and I have this podcast to open ourselves up a bit, just to let people in on who we are. And so I'd love to learn more about your story, how you got to be such an influential photographer in America, and
I want to start from the beginning, though. Like, where were you born, and where were you raised, and
yeah, tell us that.
what did you do?
Yeah, so not many people know this. I was born in Iran.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Tehran. In November 78. I don't advertise that. It's not like it's a thing that people ask.
Sure,
but,
it's just a unique idea.
I'll just say I was born near Asia, right? But I was born there back in the day. This is before the revolution, all that stuff happened. It was a normal place to go. So my parents were there, and I was born in November, and the revolution happened. Like the Shah, all that stuff was happening, and like people were getting killed and like kidnapped and disappearing and stuff. And so my parents thought maybe we should leave. And so basically what happened was they went to the U.S. Embassy, me and my mom and my dad, and a soldier just pulled us in and said, hey, like, it's crazy. It's kind of like a movie almost, right? You just come over, like, they just pulled us through. Luckily, my dad was very big in education, so he was applying for master's programs and stuff, and so he got accepted to the University of New Mexico. And so it was easy for us to come to America. So 6 months old, we come to America, and my dad's studying there. My brother was born 4 years after I was born. And, my dad graduated. He decided to get a PhD from Berkeley, mechanical engineer. My dad is a brilliant guy.
Yeah.
And so we moved there. So we lived in Berkeley, California. And he got his PhD, was working multiple jobs, raising a family, doing his best, being fantastic parents. And, after he got his PhD, I remember he was walking graduation, and, I'm a little kid. I'm like, Dad, why does your uniform look different? And he's like, oh, because I did, some extra stuff at school. And so then I found out he's like the top guy in his class, right? Brilliant guy, like getting a PhD from Berkeley for mechanical engineering.
Wow.
So, I have a lot to live up to, of course. So basically, he moved us to Southern California, right? Oh, Colorado. It's always mixed up. Colorado for a couple of years, we came to SoCal. So basically from 5th grade on up, I was raised in Orange County, California. My background is I'm at UCLA for electrical engineering. I worked at Raytheon for a couple of years. After that, then like went to IT, sales and marketing. And then what happened was I was working at a firm in Irvine, California, as a marketing guy, And so then I had just got engaged to my fiance, wife now. And we bought a house in Newport Beach. We moved in for a month.
So cute.
It is super cute,
So cute.
except our company got bought out. And so some guy in Utah decided to lay off people, and I was one of them. So literally 1 month after we moved in, I got laid off. And so I come home, I sit my fiance wife out, you guys know me, sat her down on the stairs, and I told her what happened. And she's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't know. I said, let me be bummed for a week, play video games, and then I'll find a job next week. And she's like, what do you really want to do? And at the time I was freelancing as a club photographer. Like, the guys in the clubs that shoot pictures of people and like put it up on, and like have all that stuff for promoters and stuff.
Yeah.
I was getting paid like $100 a night. I got free drinks, free VIP. My friends got to reap my benefits. And then we was working corporate, so I didn't really care.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of a fun thing. But I thought, maybe I could do photography, but there's no way I can make a living off $100 a night kind of job, right? But I said, I heard weddings pay a lot. So my wife said, why don't you give it a shot? Why don't you try this thing? And I'm like, you're crazy. I mean, we have mortgage, we have wedding, we have bills, we have like things to pay for, and I can't just not work and make $100 a day, right? And she's like, why don't you try it? So she convinced me to give it a shot. She said, give it a year, see what happens. This is August 2010. And, for the whole year, whoever starts a business, you guys know the first year is really tough. Like, you have to establish your skill set, how you get clients, doing your business, like not being depressed because you're not getting any work, right? So like, there's so many times where I couldn't pay a bill. I couldn't like afford to do something. I couldn't like pay our mortgage. And so like, I'd ask my wife, I'd say, babe, can you help me? Pay it. Never a question. She wrote the check. She took care of it.
Wow. That's like mega support.
Mega support. And so she let me pursue my dream. And this has been like 10 years now. Is my 2010. So, 2020 when we're getting old. 10 years, it's been 10 years. And like, if it wasn't for my wife and my family and friends supporting me and pushing me, because even when I was laid off, like my friends came over to our house, and they said, I think you can do this. I think you have the skill to like do this. Like, you guys are crazy, but I've had those friends push me and believe in me. And it brought me to where I am today.
What were some of the skills that you had that your friends saw in you that were like, oh, Ning, you can do this?
I always like to network and talk to people. I always had like that, likability factor. I guess people just like me.
I like you.
Right? They always liked me. They always liked being around me. And my networking was never like, what can you do for me? It's always like, let's be friends. And then when you're friends, you're more like, you want to help each other. And I always was like, kind of like giving myself like to my friends, like, hey, what can I do for you? Right? I don't really care about what they could do for me because I just wanted to help people. So they saw that. They're like, you're really good at talking to people, like networking and doing this. So like the business part, it could be there, right? But also I had a really good friend who's an art director, and he's really picky with his art stuff. And I knew like he did not compliment people and like say this is good. If it sucked, he'd be like, this sucks, right? But he told me, I think you have an eye for it.
Wow.
And so I remember talking to him, and he said, well, if my buddy can believe in me, maybe I can go somewhere. And I was thankful to have mentors who taught me things. And like,
how'd your family take it?
You guys heard the story of my dad.
Yeah.
He's Dr. Wong, right? Super successful. Right now, he's like the highest level he can be at his company. My parents are young, so they're still working too. My mom is an RN, very respected and super hard worker. So my parents didn't take it well because it wasn't a typical journey of a engineer, lawyer, doctor for an Asian guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so They're like, what are you going to make money? You're never going to have this, have that. And all this stuff. And of course they worry for you. Like, we're parents. You worry for your kids. Our kids aren't grown yet, but you still worry like
You're
what their
always-
future
yeah.
is. So I understand that now. Back then I didn't understand it, So I remember the first year of business in Christmas. This is, my parents didn't never give extravagant gifts to us. They're like just very simple things. But for Christmas, there's a box from Nordstrom's. You can tell, like you can look at this shape, and I shook it. It's like, oh, it's clothes, So, oh, cool. My mom got me some like clothes, or maybe some like whatever's. And so then we're opening it, and she opens it up. I open it up, and inside is a polo with my logo on it. My parents got me that logo. They made a point to get a polo for me to wear and have my logo on it. And to me, they're not like the most expressive, like they're very Asian, but that was the way of accepting my future, I guess you could say. So I have the polo. It's funny because I literally changed my logo. They didn't tell them, so there was an old logo on there, but it's in my closet. I wore it for a couple of things.
You wore it when you were around your mom.
Yeah. So, that was my way of thinking they accepted it. My parents always my mom used to carry a little baby album in her purse of like my work. And show people and stuff. And
that's so cute.
Yeah,
like she has her own favorite images. She likes showing people.
I guess I made like a sample album, and I made a baby version.
Remember those from Graphy, like when we first started, Beth?
Yeah, I think it was from Graphy. It was one of those
little baby albums,
the studio pack, right?
Yeah, you can get like a little baby album.
Or you get
forgot
like
about
the big album too, right? So I think it was from Graphy Studio. But she, had that, and so it's still now. My parents like, oh, are you okay? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I'm like, Mom, we're good. Like we're good, We have
the same thing. My mom. Like a month ago, she's like, I worry about you. How are you doing financially? And we just bought another business. She's like,
Seth, it's like I didn't even tell you this, but I overheard your mom talking to somebody else.
Oh God!
And she's like I know that they're not dealing drugs, but like I just worry about them. Like I just don't know how they make their money.
Yeah, because
like, are they okay?
Yeah. So we're here in Vegas on the 60th floor of the Mandalay Bay.
We're good, Cher. We're good.
Well, how was that? What has that support really meant to you? I mean, moving, finally, your parents showing some approval. How has that transformed you?
It's a huge deal. Everybody wants to have support and approval of your parents, right? No matter if you have a great relationship with them or a horrible one, and we have a great one. But getting the approval is a big deal. It's pushed me. And I've had friends who don't have the approval of their spouses or like their parents or their peers, and they don't succeed. I don't ever see them. They're always like, my husband or my wife, she doesn't want me to do this. She wants me to get a real job and do this and that. But it's like, man, like this journey is hard enough to do it on yourself.
Yeah.
Having someone be negative is never going to help. Or
they shouldn't do it.
You shouldn't do it. It's like, maybe you shouldn't do it because you're not getting support.
Yeah.
But if it's your dream, like as parents, we want our kids to pursue their dreams. Of course, if my daughter became like a doctor, PhD, like medical, like astronaut, like great, I would love it. But if she wanted to do something else, she's only 6, but I told her, if you want to do whatever you want to do, just work hard. Be the best at what you're doing, and have a positive attitude. The 2 things I always tell her. That's what we want for our kids. So having the approval of my parents and having the unwavering support of my wife, letting me do all these crazy things, letting me be here in Vegas while she's watching the 2 kids at home.
Dude, and her support over all the years too, like especially in that beginning when she would just like help you out financially if need be.
Yeah, I mean, like I got this. It's like,
that's amazing.
You know how people know marriages fail because of money issues, and arguments, and like she's always put us in a good spot, and like every year for WPPI, it happens to be the week of her birthday every year. Like her birthday is tomorrow, Thursday, right?
Oh man.
And so I'm flying home tomorrow, but sometimes it's in the middle of the week and I'm not home and she never minds. She tells me she doesn't. So the support is monumental, You
just took the word out of my mouth. I was going to ask you, what are some of the most monumental moments you've had shooting weddings the past 10 years? What sticks out as some of the best things you've done?
Well, the best things I've done are the weddings I've actually shot for free. So I at least do one free wedding a year, not like a raffle or anything. It's just for a couple in unfortunate position.
How do you find them? Or
I've done a couple where the couples rushed their wedding because a parent has cancer.
Oh yeah,
right. And I'm like, we'll do it for free. We don't care. We'll take the money and apply it towards your family for something for a memory.
wow.
Right. And my crew, I always ask them I will pay you, but this is the situation, and they've always said no. We'll do it for free with you, But the most memorable one, there's two. But the most memorable one, Anthony Carbajal. Do you guys? I don't know if you know him. He's a wedding photographer. He basically got diagnosed with ALS, and his doctor said you have to stop shooting weddings, or you're going to accelerate your ALS. So he had no choice. He was doing 20 plus weddings a year, 30 weddings a year. So another good friend of mine, he found out what happened, and he made a campaign called One for Anthony. So the couples had the option to get their money back and hire somebody else, or we could apply to be their photographers, and we would give him all the money, right? So I was lucky enough to be picked for one of his couples. So we shot the wedding for him. None of my staff took a cut, and sorry, I burped.
It's okay, I do it like 3
so
times.
Emotional talking, I burp. And then we gave him all the money, right?
Wow.
So it wasn't just that, but what happened was he told me, "Hey, I'm gonna propose." So I said, "Hey, let me shoot your wedding for you, no cost, right?" And he's like, "No, I couldn't do that." I'm like, "Look, man, don't worry about it, And he was a guy. He had, when the Ice Bucket Challenge was a big deal, he had challenged Ellen DeGeneres to do it on her season 10 show, or season 9, and season 10 opener, she had him on, and they did Ice Bucket Challenge together on the show, right? And so, he used some of the influence to try and raise awareness to ALS, stuff like that. And most people heard about ALS now. Before it wasn't a thing that people knew about, right? But he got married, and we shot his wedding for free. My whole crew didn't take a cut, and we actually did a surprise thing to edit for them. So they didn't even know, but one of my mentor, he was editing the video on the side, and during the reception, we're like, "Hey, we got a surprise," and we bust this out, and they're just crying right away. And he had a lot of photographer friends, and as peers, it's kind of oh, don't look at my work because I don't get judged by my peers. At the end of it, we always film a reaction video. They're standing up, they're clapping, they're like, "This is so amazing." And to me, it wasn't about that; it was about the couple. But I'm not gonna lie, it made me feel good that my peers had gave me props for that, And that was an amazing experience. Those are the moments I remember. And the second one is there's a couple that actually was here in Vegas for the Vegas shooting. It was a younger couple. They survived the shooting. The girl got shot in the leg. But what happened was basically her boyfriend, husband now, when it was happening, he dove over her. And he's this 6'3" baseball guy. And she's this little Hawaiian girl, really petite, gorgeous little lady, And he didn't know, that no one knew, but he dove over to sacrifice himself to save her. And so then I found out the story. She got shot. She survived. Nothing, no issues. It went through her leg and stuff like that. But my friend got hired to shoot her wedding for photos. And so then she's like, "Hey, I got hired for this." I'm like, "Hey, let me second shoot for you. I want to shoot a second shoot of this wedding, And then she's like, "Okay." And I said, "Hey, do they have video?" And she's like, "I don't think they can afford video." I said, hey, I'll do it for free. Tell them like I'll do it for free. Here's my website, so then of course they took advantage of that, not take advantage, but they took my opportunity to do that. And so we shot their wedding for free. Super emotional day.
Wow.
I mean,
did they talk about the shooting on
they
the wedding
didn't
day?
say about a lot, but everybody knew the story.
Yeah.
Everybody knew what they had gone through. And as the girl's parents and even like his parents, how proud are you of this guy who would die for my kid, So they're like, oh yeah, whatever he wants to do, he can, he's get emotional thinking about this. But just the fact that it was a beautiful wedding, beautiful ceremony. And just to be part of that was amazing. And then I got 2 of my guys, came, we didn't take any money for it. We refused. We're this is this, we have a gift.
It's a humanity thing.
Yeah, we have a gift that we tell stories for a living, and it's these are stories. Not to say regular weddings aren't stories, because they are great stories too. But this is literally life and death could have happened, and they're like, let's not wait, let's get married, So it was beautiful. We still keep in touch all the time. They just had a little adorable little baby. We're on Facebook, and that's what I love about social media, is you're always connected.
Yeah.
I remember after the wedding, the dad reached out, of the bride reached out to me. He's so thankful. He's thanking me on the phone, and I didn't answer because it was a random call, so I put it to voicemail. But he was thanking me. He asked me if he can get a copy of his speech. I'm yeah, for sure, man. He had a good speech too. So I just edited that and sent it to him, But yeah, those are kind of the things that stand out the most in my mind. And those are the ones that I'll remember, that I'm very proud, because we're put in a position where we can do those kind of things, where we can allow ourselves to be vulnerable and tell stories for people and be part of their lives. And we shoot weddings, we're in their life for one day, technically, right?
Yeah.
And social media is great because it connects us at the same time, but it's stuff that as cheesy as it sounds, dude, we are part of their history. Their kids, their grandkids, their friends, family will watch or look at our photos and videos. As weird as it sounds, but it's crazy, right?
That's exactly it. Yeah.
So our influence is moved on towards other media, through other media. So
documenting those memories for generations to come. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
So incredible.
How has your life view changed now? You've had a couple little ones at home.
Man. Yeah, so I got our daughter Maya, 6 years old. 6.5, I guess. And
that's a fun age, right?
It's great.
She lose her teeth yet?
Oh yeah, she's like chiclets.
I just oh yeah, they come in so big.
Yeah. And our son Rohan, he is 10 months.
Rohan.
Yeah. Rohan, yeah.
We have a
Love
friend
that
named
name.
Rohan.
Yep, we love that name.
I have a kid named Rohan.
That's great.
It's it's so much has changed. I'm a relatively young dad in terms of 6 years old, right? It makes you change your outlook on everything. You guys know this. It's I remember even when I was in my 30s and my dad would come give me hugs and kisses. I'm right? Get away, Dad. Right?
I know where you're going.
Right? I'm get away. I'm I'm an adult. Why are you kissing why are you slobbering on my face, right? And I'm this is so embarrassing, right? And then you probably should know where I'm going. I was when my daughter was born, I never stopped hugging her, never stopped kissing her. I was doing that, and then my dad's see? Now you know. And I'm you're right. I will never stop doing that to my kids. I call them smushy kisses, right? And my daughter's no, truce, no smushy kisses,
No smushy kisses.
But I will be old and in a walker, and I will still say, come here,
give me them smushy kisses,
and do that, and it's just your perspective on life changes. It's not about you guys anymore. Pre-kid days, I'm sure.
Motorcycles, concerts,
going out on vacations, right? You guys.
Oh my gosh, we would go out to eat all the time.
Oh yeah, no, you
We'll
can't
just
afford
do
it. You're
whatever.
like-
Yeah, no, we're not going out.
multiple kids are like, no, let's just eat pizza.
No, we're
Let's eat at
good.
home.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean, it's
I feel like I'm a different photographer now that we have kids, you know? Like,
you feel that too, of course.
yeah, you're shooting for intention. You're shooting for memory stuff, right? Like I heard a phrase, I forgot where I heard it, but someone had said, we create memories for people. We don't create memories for ourselves as photo video people. And that really resonated with me.
Yeah, I like that.
Right? It's like, you're right. Like we create these memories, but who does it for us? Like are we too lazy or too like tired or like just don't take our own photos and videos? You know, like that's to us, that's nuts. Like we do this stuff, but we don't do it for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know? And so like, I remember when my wife was pregnant with our first daughter or our first kid, you know, Maya, and I heard that right before that. So I remember just taking my phone out each moment, like recording her, like, hey babe, where we're going? And she's like, oh, why are you recording me? We're going to the hospital to get a checkup. I was recording the whole journey. You know, when we were in the, when she was giving birth, I had like my Canon camera with like all my prime lenses, cause like low light, like hospitals, low light, no flash allowed. I need prime lenses. And so then like I'm shooting all this stuff, but then when our daughter turned 1, I took all that footage and I made a video about my daughter's journey since the first day we found out we were pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
And it was so tough because we had so many issues with getting pregnant.
You did?
And we never thought we could have kids.
Oh.
And then miracle happened. Basically, we just stopped like worrying for a little bit, and
We've
boom.
heard this with our friends as well. Yeah.
And so like, I recorded the journey, and it was like a 20+ minute long video. I finished it, and my wife, you know, I just sit her down in the living room saying, hey babe, come look at this video that I did. And she thinks it's a wedding video. She's going to like rip it apart. And I'm like going to be all depressed in the corner. And first, like, you know, like first phrase is like, hey babe, where are we going? And then
Stop.
And she was crying the moment she saw, she was crying. And she's like I'm a big wuss and she's way stronger than me. She was crying, bawling her eyes out. And it was a journey of our daughter from the moment we found out all the way to like her first birthday. You know, and Maya watches the video too. She's like, Daddy, can I watch my video?
Yes.
Oh, here's my phone. Let me eat in peace. You know? But
Do you think about Maya's wedding?
oh man, dude, of course we're like gonna criticize this and that. Maybe, I don't know, like
Do you already think like I'll pick out the photographer. We'll go all out on the photo, video.
I have a song picked out already, our dance song. I've had it picked out for years.
What is it? Anything I know?
It is Joe Morales, Love Will Never Be Enough.
Oh,
Right?
I don't know it.
It was, so the song it's a beautiful song. I think I got it from Music Bed, right? I remember my daughter was a little baby, she was crying. I'm like, man, stop crying. And I'm playing this random music and I played it and she stopped crying. I'm like, oh. And then I try it again. Oh, she stops crying. It's like a nice guitar, like riff, like melody, and he sings over it. And so I learned to love the song, not because it made her stop crying as a baby, but it was a really touching song.
That's like actually your song.
Yeah. So I already picked it. My wife already knows. I picked the song for my son. I'm like, I'm gonna have a father-son first dance.
Yes.
I don't give a crap.
Yes.
I'm gonna have a first look with my son. I told her this. She's like, no.
First look.
Yeah. I'm like, I want to walk down the aisle. I'm gonna do all this stuff, you know. And she's like, no. I'm like, we'll see.
Yeah.
But and I think about it all the time. Like, who knows what? Like, when 20-ish years from now, when they get married, like 20, 30 years, there would be like floating cameras or like.
Yeah. What is it gonna be like?
Yeah, Elon Musk is gonna make like this crazy camera that like the Tesla cam. And it's like,
Yes.
you know,
Do you own a Tesla too?
Oh,
yeah,
yes, he
We always
does.
talk about
What
it.
color's yours?
Midnight silver is gray.
Oh,
The gray one, yeah.
That's the one I wanted.
What
I
do
got
what do you guys have?
Red one.
Red one.
Oh, red one's good.
Kids love it.
I got outvoted 3-1.
Yes.
You can wrap it, you know.
Man. I didn't really know all of that info about your journey. What do
I didn't know you were an electrical engineer.
You know, I was born in Tehran.
we had Pai Jirsa on. He's from Iran too. Iran.
Yeah? You know, he knows. 'Cause I always make sure that Middle Eastern people know I'm one of them, you know?
Wow. So what do you like to bring on the wedding day? I mean,
What do you mean, babe?
what has made you so successful as a wedding photographer in terms of like, I know it's your charisma, your character, your lovability. Like what, you know, what do you try and do on a wedding day that has made you so successful? Or
Well, I mean, with the engineering background, I treat it like a process. Like it's a process in terms of like, I have a list of the gear. I make sure, because like, you know, memory cards, you know, the batteries, all that stuff. But like, I make the list every morning, before the morning or the night before. I'm really checking off stuff, so I feel no stress. I forget anything. I'm very particular about writing my outlines for my crew, like addresses, phone numbers, timelines, your responsibilities, weather, dress code. Even they work with me for years. I'm like, my dress code's always still on there.
how big's the team?
If it's just photos, 2 of us. If it's videos, 3 of us. If we do photo video, it's 5 total of us.
Wow. Okay.
Right. And so very organized in that part, because I'm like, there should be no excuse why you don't know the address to this hotel, or what time you start, or like how you should be dressed, or the timeline. Right. I even put parking, like, oh, valet, how much it costs. I'll reimburse you, of course. Or
Wow.
like, I put everything because, you know, like I've learned that through corporate world, like if you put information there and they actually do read it, there shouldn't be questions, right? So I call them what to know before he goes, and so I organize in that aspect. And then, you know, like as photographers, videographers, there's always things that you mandatorily shoot, right? You know, like that you always shoot, but then, you know, I always do those. My friend, he calls them KTLAs, like, you know, keep the lawyer away. It's like the safe shots, right?
Yeah.
Get the safe stuff first and then get creative.
Keep the lawyer away.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's good.
But it's like, get your safe stuff and then get creative, because the safe stuff is like, you know, like the groom is doing like the prep. You guys know it's like the tie, the cuffs, the jacket, the vest, you know, the best man, the hug, and like all that stuff. Boutonniere, very basic. But then once you get the basic stuff, get creative. Like get like those really wow shots, like pull a flash out, or like, you know, shoot different angles, or like, you know, do this, look for reflections and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Something to get the people talking.
Yeah, you know, like a little Instagram worthy kind of image, stuff like that. But also like, the biggest part I learned is hiring the right people, right? Hiring the right people, and trusting your team, because if it wasn't for the people who've worked with me, for me, I could never be where I was, because they helped me put my company in the spot.
How long
Right.
have they been working with you, your crew?
So my crew is as new as like 2 years. Others are like 6 years,
Wow.
7 years. They're not like full-time employees. They're all
Yeah.
contractors. They have their own businesses. So like when I have a wedding, I'm like, hey, please be free. Like, you know, and we had different people, of course. But like overall, it's about like 20-ish that I pull from, you know. But the trust has to be there, you know. And I don't hire for skills. Of course, if you have no skill, I don't hire you. But I hire people for honesty, hard work, and integrity. Those are the 3 things, because you cannot teach those to people at all. You can't teach someone to be honest if they're not honest.
Yeah.
Integrity is like, if they drop my stuff and no one saw, what they tell me, right? And then hard work is just work ethic.
Yeah.
You can't teach this stuff to people. And that's where I hire from. Of course, 4th is like skill set, you know. But if they have okay skill and they have those 3, we can teach to be higher, you know,
Yeah.
to be better. But I can't teach you to work harder. I can tell you, dude, get off your ass and do this. Stop texting. Like, you know, like do this. Don't stop Instagram storing this crap, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to. You can't teach that stuff, you know. And so I think the biggest success is having the right people be part of your crew, you know, because without that, you know, like all my guys treat my weddings like it's their own, guys and girls, you know, but like they don't like phone it in. They don't go like, oh, this is good enough. They're like, you know what? Like, let me go the extra step. But it's also like being the boss and treating them right. Because if you treat somebody crappy, they're not going to come back and work for you, right?
Right.
Treat them respect. Treat them with, like boost the morale, and like, if there is a critique, don't just rail them on it. Like, like there's good things they've done. There's also things they can improve on. But just respecting your people, because they're not your subordinates. They're not like your slaves or anything. They have their own dreams. They have their own ambitions, and they're gonna like do their own thing eventually. And it sucks at the retrain, but like you gotta support that. You can't say, "Oh man, you're leaving me. Like you're dead to me." Like it never works.
Right.
It's like, look, man, you've been with me for 4 years, and you fell in love with your life, and you're moving to Atlanta. Like I'm gonna support you. When you get married, I'll shoot your wedding for free if you want me to do it. That's a promise I made to all my crew. It's like, if you want me to shoot something for you, just pay costs, like pay second shooter and pay my editing costs, but everything else we're gonna like not. You don't gotta like pay for. And it's like, but that's if you want me to shoot it. If you don't want me to shoot it,
then yeah,
let me be a guest, and then party and hang out.
What are some of the partnerships you have? You work with Canon?
Yeah, so I've been a Canon instructor for quite a few years.
What does that mean, a Canon instructor?
So I teach their classes in Canon Costa Mesa.
Oh.
Like they're a few times a month, sometimes more, sometimes a little less. Who would you teach? From like off-camera flash to business to like editing to like they have high school field trips. And like we teach the kids like basic stuff, like intro to lenses or like composition or like how to pose people. We do a lot of studios. They have a studio there, so we do a lot of like off-camera lighting, studio setups and stuff. Teach a lot of video classes because DSLR video is still a big thing, of course.
Yeah.
So we teach a lot of those things. So that's what a Canon instructor does. I love every second of it. It's I've been so blessed to be part of their family.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So we have that partnerships. We have a lot of other small partnerships here and there. I'm just thankful for people to like support me. It's kind of cool when I have a workshop like, hey, can I get some giveaways? And they're like, yeah, here's a promo code. Here's like discounts and like, it's for me, it's like just giving my workshop attendees value. Like you're spending time with me. Like, let me try and find some free, cool crap to give away. Not crap, like cool stuff.
Yeah.
Swag.
Yeah, swag. Free stuff to give away, or like raffle off, or like give you guys discount codes so you guys can get a better price. But I only do that to products that I believe in. If a company comes in and say, we want to give you this, but I think it sucks, or I don't like it, or I don't use it. I'm like, I would love to, but like, I don't think it's the right partnership for me, because I want to be disingenuous with my attendees, because it's not about that. It's about proving yourself with the right products and believing in what you use. So
And giving smushy kisses.
yeah, only to my kids and wife who hates it.
I'm coming at you next. Get ready for smushy kisses.
I would enjoy that, Beth. Ning, thanks for coming on, bro.
Yeah.
I think we set out on this to like provide something. I mean, maybe this is just stupid to say. I mean, we want to provide something to our viewership and our fans, but I think, Beth, have you realized we've gotten so much out of sitting down with so many wonderful people
even
here.
like when Ning's in here talking about like like we have an office assistant that I just adore so much. She does so much for us, and she's such an important part. And I know that she's going to be moving on to her new adventures at sometime, like you said. But like, I just hope that I'm telling her enough how much I appreciate her and supporting her. And we should do something nice for her, honey. Maybe take some photos of her and her boyfriend.
Sure.
I know. I get so antsy.
We chose this wonderful Mandalay Bay suite to do these podcasts, and it does get antsy to sit here for 40 minutes. But Ning, I'm happy that you joined us. I can't wait to spend more time with you moving forward. I know you're.
I want to see little your baby. What?
Rohan.
No. Maya.
Oh, yeah?
I want to see her video.
Oh.
1 year video.
You can't. I'll send it to you. It's good.
Great. Yeah. We made a video somewhat similarly for our
Ours
second
is
child.
just his birth. Like
Yeah.
it's like the whole Seth took so many videos of the birth.
Yeah.
So he made, and so it was just the one day, but it is special. A whole 1 year. You know, I was thinking though, honey, we do have you do a great job documenting our family and stuff. Maybe we can talk about some different avenues we can to make like a family video with all of that.
We did a family video, Ning. We hired a video.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, that was monumental, and I think we're going to do it again. I don't know anyone who actually specializes in doing those things, but I always kind of wanted to. Maybe I will one day. All right, guys, this is incredible. Thanks, Ning, for joining us. You're the best.
Anytime.
You're so handsome.
Subscribe, please, to Seth and Beth, and follow us on next podcast.
Where can people find Ning?
Oh, yeah, Ning, I'm sorry. Where can people
I
find you?
wanted to let you know that I just love your logo. I think it's so cool.
Oh, yeah,
Thank
she's
you.
been saying this all week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
Even when you're not around, I actually say this too.
thank you. No, like so the logo was when I got laid off. One of my graphic design buddies, he gifted me my logo and design pack.
Wow.
Like he's super talented and he costs a lot of money, but he basically said, "I believe in you. Let me do something for you."
Wow, that was
Right?
nice.
And he made me my logo. I've never changed it. That's when my shirt logo had changed, you know. But
I see.
Yeah, so that's when I got the new logo. He has a whole design, like this whole like all these PDFs of like stuff. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do, but like, how do I make a business card with this stuff, you know? But yeah, so that's one of the things that I was blessed to get that helped me a lot because you guys aren't the first ones. Like people love it. It's simple, but it's like cool. You
It's
know, I
so
guess,
cool.
You know?
Yeah.
As you could tell that it's super professional.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on social?
On Facebook, it's like facebook.com/Ning Wong Studios. On Instagram, it's at Ning Wong Studios. My Twitter, which is like just repeats of what I post on the IG,
Yeah.
is at Ning Wong. My website's ningwong.com. You can kind of tell there's a theme. But yeah, so mostly I'm on IG, on Facebook. If you want to friend me on Facebook, like look for my personal Facebook. And I think it's facebook.com/Ning Wong COM, Ning Wong com. Like, I think Ning Wong was taken. So like, yeah, so just Facebook friend me, and you could chat me up. I'm always like, I love chatting with people, as you can tell. So hit me up anytime, guys. Like, just say, hey, what's up? Or like, you know, like my stuff so I can get more followers, you know. But yeah.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
All right, Ning, thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming all the way up here and giving us being so generous with your time. Bethy, thank you for being my love of my life.
Love you.
And yeah, follow Seth and Beth, sethandbeth.com on YouTube. Love you guys.